Happy Monday, guys. Sorry that I can't be here today, but I do want to go over the do while and then give you two assignments. We'll see how far we get. But let's recap what we went through on Friday. So let me make this a little bit bigger so you can see. When we left off on Friday, we actually set up our do while. So do while means it runs through this section of information at least once. Remember, your code reads top down. So it's saying, hey, do this pieces of information until we hit this while, this condition of while the password is not equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But let's just go back through. Let's take a few steps back to recap here. So I'm going to get rid of this do while for a second and just go back through and talk about what we have for user input. So again, if we're doing user input, meaning we're asking somebody else, it could be anyone in the class, to enter a password, we need the word scanner. We then need to attach or declare variable to the word scanner, and I use the letter S. So then I say, hey, that scanner is going to read the next line, which is going to be the next line of this password. I use next line because the password could be a combination of numbers and letters. It's not just an integer or a double. It's not an actual number. It could be a string of information. And I'm putting that line that I'm scanning in to the word password, or to the variable password. So I'm assigning the line I'm reading in to the string called password. And let's just print out the password that the user puts in. So I'm going to just do a quick system out print line and call upon the string password. And it's just basically going to spit out what the user puts in, just to make sure we're doing this correctly. Okay, so I ran this, and the password, maybe my password is Bob. And it spits out Bob. Perfect. Okay, so now let's go back to the do while. So we're reading in a password. And in our assignment, we need to create a program that uses the do while so that it will continue to prompt the user for the password until they put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So on Friday, we left off very quickly the do while. So we're saying, hey, do this information, meaning prompt the user to enter a password while password is not equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is saying, hey, do this, meaning prompt the user to enter the password until the user, prompt the user to enter the password unless it's not or while it's not equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So once it's equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's gonna pop out. So we might then say access granted. So this is saying, hey, while the password is not equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we're going to keep prompting. Once it is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we're going to grant access. So let's just run this for a second. All right, just as I suspected, there are some errors. And the reason why there are some errors is, one thing, we need a semicolon after that while statement. Okay, because that's a line we have to execute. This is our test. Test to see if password is not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And then access is granted if password is. So let's run this again. And we have another error. Now, remember, when we're talking about comparing strings, we're comparing our input password to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a string. In Java, we can't just use this not equals. If we go back to Schoology here, let me go back here. If we go to Schoology, remember back in the lesson when we talked about Booleans. So let me go here. When we talked about Booleans, and we are comparing, let's see, where was it? We are comparing strings. Might be the next one here. Okay, so it's going to be the next lesson here. So it's 7. Let's go back to 8 here. Sorry. Actually, it's probably the one before user input. Let's see, I gotta find it here. I don't think it was with oops. I think it is still in Booleans here. I don't know why I can't find it. Here we go. So in week 7, when we talked about Boolean, when we were talking about comparing strings, remember we can't use the equal sign or the double equal sign. We have to use the word equals, dot equals. So please make sure you go back through here and do this. So here we're saying dot equals but remember, we want to say when it's not equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we want to repeat. So the not is the exclamation point. So we have a not. So this is a little bit different than what we would expect, or maybe we have to kind of rethink about Java. So here, instead of using the equivalent signs, meaning the double equal signs, or in this case, the not equal sign, we're going to say dot equals and then put the not before that. So this is what's important. So this is still saying do this part, meaning we're going to prompt the user to input a password while the password is not equal. So not equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's run this. And we've got one more problem here. And that problem is the problem is with the variable password. And unfortunately, we actually have to declare it before the do while. So we're going to go way up here before the do while, and we're just going to declare password as a string. So string. The reason why we do this is just because it would have a hard time reading that first. Okay, so we're going to run. There we go. So we're going to enter the password. So as long as I don't type in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's going to keep prompting me over and over again. So I'm going to do Bob. It's prompting me over again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Prompt me over again. I could do my password. Prompts me again. Now remember, the actual password that we're looking for to grant me access is 1234556. So let's do 1234556 and access is granted. So again, let's take a look at what we did. Some things that are new to us. We had to declare the string, declare this outside, do while. Then we have this do. So this means we're going to do this information here while password is not equal to 1234556. So this reads in user input. Okay. This prompts the user. You got to have that. This assigns user input to the variable password. And then this tests to see if the password is not equal to 1234556. Again, we need that exclamation point to say not. And then we need the word equals because we're comparing two strings. So please make sure you do that. So then while it's not equal to 1234556, it's going to keep looping through that do while. Once it is equal, it'll jump out of that do while and just go to the system printout, access is granted. So I want you guys to take a look at this, submit this please when you're done so I know that you have worked through this.